Hi guys, welcome back. So let's talk about one of the most important activity in the entire project management, and that is develop project charter. So in this video, we are going to look at this activity and what all things are needed to be performed here to develop a project charter. Remember, this is the activity which we are dealing. And now as we move ahead with this course, we will go through all these knowledge areas where we have to review these activities. It will have certain inputs, outputs, techniques which are used to perform those activities. And these are very important to understand the field of project management or for your PMP exam. So please pay careful attention. If you need, you can stop the video, pause it, take notes. I have seen that taking notes really help. So coming back to this activity, this is basically about how we develop it, who develop it, and why it is needed. So project charter is basically created at a predefined stage of a project. So basically it happens at the start of a project. Without a project charter, a project manager cannot initiate a project. What I mean by that is that they need to create their project management plan, they need to assign resources who will work on it. So, unless until there's a project charter, a project cannot exist. This document formalizes the existence of a project. That's why this is the first document which should be created as soon as a project needs to be initiated. And project charter statement provide a kind of approval to the project manager to start the process. So these are the inputs, tools and techniques and outputs of this activity. We have a business document, and business document could be in the form of business case, benefit management plan. Then there are agreements and enterprise environmental factors like policies and all those things which we have discussed earlier, and organizational process assets. These could be templates, these could be similar documents used for other projects. So all of that side, business case is vital. Unless until there's a business case in the form of business case document or benefit management plan, you cannot initiate a project charter. So you need to have these things to create a project charter. And then usually the techniques which are deployed or used to create project chart. If you are using some tools, maybe you have to fill in the blanks or enter data in few sections which can eventually produce a project charter in certain template, but largely it's a document. Let me show you a project charter document, and we will cover that in a later video where I will walk you through with the entire process, and you will have to create that document as assignment for this course. But just to give you some idea what we are talking about here, this is the project charter document. You can also just mention project charter or project charter statements. Basically it's a document which will have all these details. So it will have a section which will provide justification for the course. Then it will have additional sections like project objectives, success criteria, risk, high level requirement, assumptions, what kind of risk and opportunities are there, then a high level timeline, and of course the budget. So this is a sample project charter statement which you will create, and I will also provide you this template, so if you want you can simply edit it and use it in your company for your professional work. That's up to you. So going back to our slide, so these are the techniques. So we have expert judgment, which basically means when you use your experience, your past learning to do something. We have data gathering like brainstorming, focus group, interviews. So you use these three techniques to get data from your stakeholders and enter that information, relevant information, in your project starter document. You have interpersonal and team skills, conflict management, facilitation, meeting management, and meetings. So as you can see, it's all about dealing with your stakeholders. So these are minimum skills you need, and it's not maths. So you are not performing any calculations here in terms of mathematical or arithmetic calculation. It's about applying your cognitive skills, applying your personality to understand the nature of the project. Use your existing organizational process assets like templates. If you don't have, you can use the one which is supplied with this course, or you can Google it. You will find many templates which you can then edit and use it accordingly. And the output of this activity, as expected, would be a project charter document and assumption log. So you have already seen in that document that we have a section for assumption. Now, assumptions are very important. Assumptions are basically, you can say, the side effect of a project, or things which are beyond the control of a project. Let's say if I put a fridge in your house. Now, your primary objective is to keep your vegetables and fruits fresh. Now, unless until you put them in your fridge or in your refrigerator, it's not gonna work. So just because having something won't work, there are certain activities which are required to be done by the user, and these are your assumptions. In terms of a slightly different but more relevant example, let's say you are integrating a system. You have a website, and now you want this website to send data to some third party software where you can perform some kind of data processing and generate reports. Now in this case, this will be a technical implementation where you will be sending data from your database to that system through some web service call. Now I don't want to make it very technical, but it's a very conventional regular scenario. So you are sending data to some other system. So in this case, let's say you are using XML. Now usually for these JSON, XMLs, these are used for data transmission, for communication between these two systems. Now let's say the website is ABC and you are sending data to XYZ. Now your project, you as a project manager are responsible for changes for this website. Now assumption here would be that the team working on that third party system is going to make necessary changes so that they can consume the data coming from your website. So this is the assumption, and it has to be mentioned there, because remember, if you are experienced professional, you already know that these things happen a lot, that there are multiple teams who work on such scenarios, such projects, and there are conflicts and everybody will start blaming each other. There are gaps which are identified at a later stage and everybody starts to blame each other. So it's very important to mention these things as assumptions or constraints or risk in your document. It should be part of your project charter document, project management document, business analysis documents. You have to have these assumptions in place. Now, these are the usage of project charter. So as I said, project charters are being prepared at the early stage of the project, at the initial stages. It not only provides justification for the project management, but it also provides information as input for many other documents. And these are those examples. And as you can see, it's almost everything about a project, because as it will have the business case and the initial data, initial summary of the about the project, it has to be referred for these things. So it is very important to pay attention while creating your project charter document, because it is going to be a very critical input for many other upcoming activities. And that's it for now. In the next video, we will look at the another important activity which is done to create the project management plan. So thank you.